The Sistas Season 9 finale left fans reeling, their hearts racing and their minds spinning with questions that refuse to fade. In one explosive hour, we saw Karen's pregnancy reach a terrifying climax. Andy's safety thrown into chaos by a chilling kidnapping, and deep cracks forming in relationships we thought were unbreakable. It wasn't just an ending, it was a carefully laid trap, designed to make us desperate for more. And now, with Season 10 on the horizon, the tension couldn't be higher. Will Karen's twins survive? Will Andy escape her captors? And most importantly, who can anyone trust when betrayal lurks into every corner? The answers might be closer than you think, but they will come at a cost that no one is ready to pay. When Season 10 opens, the emotional wreckage from the Season 9 finale will still be smoldering. Karen's delivery, which should have been a moment of joy, has instead become a desperate fight for survival. The rare and shocking possibility that her twins could have two different fathers, Zach and Aaron, still hangs in the air like a dark cloud, but that mystery is overshadowed by the more urgent question, will both babies make it? In the hospital's cold, sterile corridors, time will slow to a crawl. Every heartbeat, every test result will carry unbearable weight. Zach, torn between fear and guilt, will hover on the edge of collapse, while Aaron's usually calm demeanor will crack under the pressure. Both men will be forced to confront not just the reality of Karen's condition, but the deep-seated tension between them that has been building for months. Meanwhile, Fatima's position becomes even more precarious. She has stood by Zach through every twist and turn of Karen's pregnancy, but this crisis will force her to face questions she's been avoiding. If the paternity results confirm Zach as the father of at least one twin, Fatima's life will change forever. Her dream of a fresh, drama-free start with Zach could be shattered, replaced by a lifetime of co-parenting battles, public scrutiny, and the constant presence of Karen. And if grief enters the equation, if tragedy strikes in that hospital room, Fatima and Zach's relationship could be pushed past the breaking point. Their long-awaited wedding, which once symbolized stability and love, might suddenly feel like a promise neither of them can keep. And while Karen's storyline commands the spotlight, Andy's situation is spiraling into a nightmare of its own. Her kidnapping in the Season 9 finale wasn't just a random act of violence. It was calculated, personal, and connected to deeper betrayals. The mystery surrounding Gary's near death from IV tampering is far from solved, and whispers in the shadows suggest that Andy's abduction could be tied to that same web of deceit. Did someone close to her orchestrate the attack? Or is she caught in a power struggle she doesn't yet understand? Her captors know exactly who she is, and that makes her situation infinitely more dangerous. Gary's fate also hangs in the balance. With Jasmine's sudden and suspicious death still fresh in everyone's minds, questions about who is pulling the strings grow louder. Was Gary the true target, or was this part of a larger game aimed at dismantling their entire circle? The connections between these events will begin to surface in Season 10, revealing a far more dangerous and manipulative force at play than anyone imagined. The stakes are higher than ever. Every character is standing at a crossroads where one wrong move could cost them everything: lives, love, and the fragile trust holding their world together. As Season 10 begins, the series won't waste time easing us back into the drama. Instead, it will throw us headfirst into the storm, where secrets are currency, loyalty is rare, and survival depends on knowing who to believe and who to betray. As the new season unfolds, the long-awaited paternity results will finally come to light, and the truth will send shockwaves through every relationship in the group. For months, the question of who fathered Karen's twins has hung over everyone like a ticking time bomb. But the answer might not be as simple as choosing between Zach and Aaron. In a twist that could only happen in Sistas, the possibility of heteropaternal superfecundation, twins with different fathers, will be confirmed, making this pregnancy not just rare, but scandalous. The revelation will upend everything. Aaron, who has always positioned himself as the stable, dependable choice for Karen, will be forced into an unexpected role as a father to one child, while Zach grapples with fatherhood for the other. Neither man will be fully satisfied with the arrangement, and both will feel the sting of losing the complete family they imagined. This new reality will create an emotional minefield where every decision about custody, health, and involvement becomes a battle. Karen, still recovering physically and emotionally from the traumatic birth, will find herself at the center of a storm she can't control. She will have to make impossible choices about how to raise her children while navigating the competing demands and egos of two men who have very different visions of fatherhood. Her own feelings, still tangled between Zach and Aaron, will make things even more complicated. In moments of quiet, Karen will question whether her relationships with either man can survive the harsh truths that the paternity test has revealed. And in moments of pain, she will wonder if these events are punishment for choices she made long before the twins were conceived. For Zach, the news will trigger a crisis of identity. Already struggling with guilt over his past mistakes, the reality of being a father, again, while balancing his commitment to Fatima, will feel overwhelming. Fatima will try to be the voice of reason, reminding Zach of the future they planned. But even her patience has limits. The constant involvement of Karen in their lives, especially now with the shared responsibility of raising a child, will force Fatima to reconsider whether she can continue in this relationship without losing herself in the process. The emotional strain could turn what was once a rock-solid partnership into a fragile connection hanging by a thread. Aaron, on the other hand, will be driven by a fierce determination to be a present and involved father, but his efforts may come across as controlling or overbearing. His rivalry with Zach, already simmering, will escalate as both men try to prove themselves as the better father. This competition will not only put pressure on Karen, but will also draw in the wider circle of friends, forcing everyone to take sides in a conflict that shows no signs of slowing down. Meanwhile, the shadow of Andy's kidnapping will continue to loom over the group. Even as they try to celebrate the arrival of the twins, no one can ignore the fact that Andy's life is still in danger. Whispers about who might be responsible will circle the hospital hallways and late-night phone calls. The connection between Andy's abduction, Gary's IV tampering, and Jasmine's mysterious death will become harder to dismiss. The deeper they look, the more they will realize that these are not isolated incidents. They are pieces of a much larger puzzle, one that could threaten all of them if they fail to solve it in time. Every conversation, every glance, and every decision will be tinged with suspicion. Friends will begin to wonder if they can truly trust each other, or if someone in their inner circle is feeding information to a dangerous enemy. In Season 10, the truth about the twins may be shocking, but it will be nothing compared to the truth about the betrayal that has been lurking in the shadows all along. And when that betrayal finally comes to light, it will shake Sistas to its very core. Andy's disappearance will no longer be a side plot. It will explode into the central mystery of Season 10. The final moments of Season 9 showed us the fear in her eyes, the way she was taken so quickly, so cleanly, that it could only have been planned by someone who knew her movements, her schedule, and her weaknesses. This wasn't a random crime. This was personal. As the season unfolds, it will become clear that her abduction is connected not just to Gary's near-fatal IV tampering, but to a wider conspiracy involving people the group once trusted. The shock will come when the clues point not toward an unknown outside enemy, but toward someone inside their own circle. Someone who has been feeding information, manipulating situations, and pulling strings from behind the scenes for months. The investigation into Andy's kidnapping will bring to the surface old grudges, buried secrets, and uncomfortable truths. Gary, recovering from his own brush with death, will become obsessed with finding out who is behind all of this. His drive for answers will border on reckless, putting him in the path of dangerous people who are far more powerful than he realizes. At first, it will seem like he's driven purely by love for Andy, but as layers peel away, we'll see another side, one that suggests his own motives might not be entirely pure. Was Gary really an innocent victim in the IV tampering, or did he play a role in events that spiraled out of his control? Meanwhile, Andy's time in captivity will test her strength in ways she never imagined. She will be isolated, interrogated, and confronted with information designed to break her loyalty to her friends. Her captors will hint at betrayals she hasn't yet considered, planting seeds of doubt in her mind. Every word, every threat, will make her question not just who took her, but why. She will start to wonder if the real danger isn't outside the group, but within it. The rest of the Sistas crew will be drawn deeper into the mystery as they search for Andy. Sabrina will use her resourcefulness and connections to dig for information, while Danny's impulsiveness could lead to risky moves that either save Andy or put them all in more danger. Fatima, still dealing with the fallout from the twins' paternity, will find herself torn between supporting Zach and helping track down Andy, knowing that if the wrong person is behind this, the betrayal could destroy them all. As the pieces come together, a chilling picture will emerge. The sabotage of Gary's affair, Jasmine's suspicious death, and Andy's kidnapping will all trace back to a single, calculated plan. One designed to dismantle the group's trust, exploit their personal weaknesses, and break them apart completely. The person behind it isn't after money or revenge in the traditional sense. They're after control. And the closer the Sistas get to uncovering the truth, the more dangerous their situation becomes. By mid-season, the tension will reach a boiling point. Every phone call could be a trap. Every friendly face could hide an enemy. And every moment wasted could mean losing Andy forever. But the most haunting question will remain unanswered. When Andy is finally found, will she be the same person they lost, or will the things she's learned in captivity change her forever? Because sometimes survival comes with a price, and that price could tear the Sistas apart. The deeper we move into Sistas Season 10, the more it will become clear that this is not just a season about relationships, family drama, or even survival. It's about trust. Who has it, who's lost it, and who will do anything to keep it. After the shocking paternity revelations, the twins' precarious health, and Andy's high-stakes kidnapping, every character will be pushed to a breaking point. And once they get there, nothing will ever be the same. The fallout from Karen's traumatic delivery will continue to ripple through every interaction. If one or both of the twins face serious medical complications, the hospital will become a battleground, not just for life and death, but for control. Zach will feel an overwhelming need to step in and protect his child, sometimes to the point of overstepping Karen's wishes. Aaron, equally determined to prove himself as a responsible father, will challenge Zach at every turn. What starts as quiet tension will escalate into heated confrontations, sometimes in front of Karen, sometimes behind her back. Each argument will be fueled not only by love for their children, but also by a desire to win in a rivalry that's been brewing far longer than this pregnancy. Karen herself will be caught in the middle, her physical recovery slowed by the constant emotional pressure. The people around her will be making decisions that impact her children's future, and yet she'll feel like she has less and less control over what happens. Her trust in Zach will be fragile, especially if Fatima's presence in the hospital feels like an intrusion. But her trust in Aaron will also waver, especially if his protective instincts cross the line into possessiveness. The more she tries to keep peace, the more she'll realize that peace may no longer be possible. Fatima's role will be one of the most emotionally charged in Season 10. She loves Zach, but love has limits when it's constantly tested by another woman's crisis. Watching Zach drop everything for Karen, whether justified or not, will reopen old wounds and insecurities. Fatima has fought to prove that she can handle Zach's baggage, but the twins change the equation entirely. Now, it's not about tolerating an ex's presence. It's about sharing a lifelong link through children who will need both parents. Fatima's patience will be pushed to the brink, and viewers will see her wrestling with a question she's never dared to voice. Is this the life I really want? But just as the personal drama threatens to consume everyone, the criminal subplot will start demanding equal attention. Andy's rescue will not come quickly. It will be the result of dangerous moves, false leads, and decisions that test everyone's loyalty. The search for Andy will lead the Sistas into unfamiliar territory, physically and emotionally. Some will have to lie, some will have to manipulate, and some may even have to break the law to get the answers they need. When Andy is finally found, the reunion will not be the joyous moment everyone hopes for. She will return physically weakened, emotionally scarred, and carrying information that could blow the entire group apart. Her captors will have planted seeds of doubt, revealing betrayals and secrets that Andy can't unhear. She'll have to decide whether to expose what she's learned immediately or hold it back until she's certain of the truth. But waiting comes with its own dangers, because the longer she keeps quiet, the more chance the real traitor has to cover their tracks. The betrayal storyline will hit its peak when the group discovers that the person responsible for orchestrating these events is someone they considered a friend, someone who knew their vulnerabilities and exploited them perfectly. This reveal will be the kind of twist that makes audiences gasp, because it won't just be shocking, it will make perfect sense in hindsight. The signs will have been there all along, hidden in plain sight, And now the pieces will click together in a way that changes the tone of the entire series. For Gary, the truth will be devastating. The IV tampering, which nearly killed him, will turn out to be just one step in a much larger plan to remove him from the equation entirely. His near death wasn't random, it was calculated, and the same people who wanted him gone were the ones who took Andy. Jasmine's death, once thought to be a tragic accident or rash act, will be revealed as the first domino in a long chain of manipulation. Sabrina and Danny will find themselves tested in unexpected ways. Sabrina's loyalty to the group will be questioned when evidence surfaces that could connect her to people involved in the conspiracy, people she may have helped without realizing their true intentions. Danny, impulsive and outspoken, will get dangerously close to the truth, but her inability to keep quiet could put a target on her back. Every step closer to exposing the traitor will be matched by an equal step into danger. And looming over everything will be the question of what happens next. Once the traitor is exposed, will the group be able to move forward together, or will the damage be too deep? The bonds between them will be frayed, possibly beyond repair. Karen will have to navigate single motherhood or complicated co-parenting with two men who can barely stand to be in the same room. Zach and Fatima's wedding plans will be in tatters, replaced by a tense uncertainty about whether they even have a future. Aaron will be struggling to adjust to his role as a father while also processing the betrayal within the group. Andy will have to heal not just from the physical trauma of her kidnapping, but from the emotional trauma of realizing someone she trusted wanted her gone. Season 10's final episodes will not offer all the answers. Instead, they will set the stage for even bigger confrontations to come. The twins' future will remain uncertain, Andy's recovery will be ongoing, and the shadow of betrayal will continue to stretch over everyone's lives. But there will be one thing fans can count on. The drama will only intensify. Every relationship will be tested, every secret will matter, and every choice will have consequences that reach further than anyone can see. And as the screen fades to black in that final moment, viewers will be left with the same gnawing feeling they had at the end of Season 9. This isn't the end. This is just the calm before an even bigger storm. Season 10 will not just challenge the characters we love, it will redefine them. And when the dust finally settles, the Sistas we knew may be gone forever, replaced by versions hardened by loss, sharpened by betrayal, and ready for whatever comes next. Because in a world where trust is a luxury, survival is the only game worth playing, and not everyone will win.